Okay, now I'm going to do a top-down update for the dollar. This is for the week of the 21st. And we'll start with the monthly. That's on the left here. So we get the dollar right, you're going to get a lot of other things right in global macro. I think the most important thing is we came off the 200 here at the start of the year. And if we remember, this is a spot everyone was getting really bearish on the dollar and bullish on the euro. Right into this spot right here. And it was our call that you had to pay attention to the break of the bands here, but basically coming right into the 200 longer term. This is where we started the new long-term bull market in the dollar. That was our call in 2014. And then, this has been some nice ebb and flow, but this was a strong move back, no doubt about it. I mean, there's lots of different ways to play this, but long term, this is the trend. So the market held where it was supposed to, and the dollar's been firm for this entire year. And so then when we go to the weekly time frame, you can see more of the same. You're holding pi. This was our call back in March and April. The euro is breaking down. You see another dollar rally. We held our pi line. You took out the intermediate term range trade, and then it's been bullish ever since. So we've been putting in a series of higher lows. Higher lows here, and then higher highs. Right? So clearly in a long-term uptrend, that's still the call. And then you can see we've held the weekly level last week and the week prior to start 2019, and still very much dollar bullish. Now when we look on the euro, you'll see a little bit of a head fake that even kind of made us switch some of our core positioning, but I want to go the other way on that now. So on the daily level, we'll just finish up DXY. We kind of started to break the bands, which meant maybe we were going to see a deeper pullback towards the September lows. And then now it looks like we've created another higher low here in front of the 200. So let's actually look at it, euro versus the dollar. Obviously, the dollar index is comprised mostly of the euro, so it's just the inverse of that. So you have euro USD monthly. I don't know what I'm drawing on here. Bring up the weekly. And so again, it's higher lows. It looks like we're putting in long term. All right, so coming off this triple bottom, we got above these highs. We've got monthly cycles that are really low in the euro also. So sorry, this is the monthly area that needs to hold for the euro to rally, if that's what the bulls are going to get with this cycle being low. But when you look at the weekly, it's more of this trend that's been playing out. Breaking these lows here, and you follow in the direction of the 8. That's kind of what we've been focused on, is are you going to stay below pi? The bands have all been this way. So it is a bit of a battle. I mean, I'm focused in here on all of this, and this was our call back in 2014. And then coming back here through not being able to get above the 200, which is where the dollar index held. This bar is pretty strong. So that's the battle. Do we hold here and put in a higher low relative to here and rally back? Or are we going to stay below the 8, stay below the bands? And I think the key levels now on the downside are these lows on the monthly level. If we take this out, we should probably resume the downtrend back to here. And the weekly is just more bearish. I mean, you can't hold the bands. This is all bearish, not being able to get above 116. We'll come back here now to the daily time frame, and this was the fake out I was talking about. We cleared these highs on the daily, which kind of put the structure to bullish, and I think got a lot of euro bears off sides like ourselves, who kind of went long here and then had to cut the risks when we come back through here. And I think we're going to be locked up between 113, all these higher lows, the bottom of the range, the daily cycle is pretty low again, and then 115, 116 on the up. So we're probably in a 113 to 115 and a half range again. So we were carrying a core short for most of the last year, and now I've been mixed. Went a little bit long, still tiny long that I don't really like, but I'm not gonna. I want to see if we hold 113 and then play for another bounce and another dollar sell-off. And then if we trade below here, like I said on the weekly and monthlies, that would be confirmation of long-term bearishness and dollar strength again. That's below 112. And then just to sum up, what we've really been focused on is this Aussie yen trade. So very similar to what stocks have been doing, this risk on bounce. Having come off a pretty strong trend all year as far as the Aussie being weak versus the dollar. And then we had that massive Aussie to yen move to the dollar in the evening session a couple of weeks ago, like the yen up 8% right here as part of this move. We want to see if this downtrend continues and whether or not we're going to kind of roll over like we talked about with the cycle with S&Ps here the week of January 21st. And so I'm still playing a course short, and I want to see us start to break the 8 here and then roll over the intermediate term to lower lows. That'll be more confirmation. That'll probably need to coincide with S&Ps doing the same thing, or U.S. equities. And we can kind of see that here. There's a weekly. Still everything's bearish in this down cycle, but you can see, I mean, I'm out of the money about 100 pips on my core position here on Aussie yen. And we've been trading around near term. So I'll be a seller again if we get up back above 78 3/4, and then we'll be coming out of some of this core position if we do start to roll over to lower lows. So playing Aussie yen core short, trading around a core position as usual, and then playing a small Aussie long to hedge that. So it's much lighter there. Bought a little bit here at Pi that I just came out of today. But I think we got pretty high probability of rolling over with S&Ps, like I stated in the last cycle, or the last video. So we'll stay with that, and I'll come back and do a crypto video here later this afternoon.